What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So, Georgia going into this year, a lot of people had, this kind of pegged as the year maybe Georgia, goes back to taking the step back to the second team in the SEC to Bama. A lot of people, were betting Ohio State and Alabama to win the national championship. Some even questioned maybe was Georgia ranked too high in the preseason. I forget exactly what they came in as, but it definitely was not one or two. And, throughout this season, a lot of people have been saying how disrespected Georgia has been, a team that's reigning national champions. And, it started off, the Oregon win, and a lot of people were like, they kind of reminded people who they were. And then, the Missouri scare, people kind of took a step back and said, maybe this team is a little bit more flawed. Maybe we do have to kind of reevaluate and maybe question if they are who we really think they are. And, Georgia, they get that win in against Tennessee, both teams 8-0, top three matchup at home. And they are, they're looking good at that point. And, it makes you wonder, do they really have what it takes to repeat? And, it kind of reminds me of 2011, 2012 Bama, because if you remember 2011 Bama, it was more of a team predicated on dominant defense, and they had a good enough offense with a young A.J. McCarron and a Trent Richardson. But in 2012, they came back, lost a lot of guys on defense, but they did have a experienced, dominant offensive line to go along with a outstanding returning quarterback in A.J. McCarron, and then you had Eddie Lacy. So this team kind of reminds me of the 2012 Bama team, because you have an experienced quarterback like Stetson Bennett, who even though you question his NFL future, what he can do as far as winning games and running the offense effectively. But A.J. McCarron was like that too. A lot of people questioned what his NFL future would be, but he started to garner the respect of a good NFL or good college quarterback, even though he wasn't even though it wasn't flashy, and was really more of a distributor, and was really not just kind of playing to control the clock, manage the game. So. But yeah, so this question, that question popped into my head: is Georgia really who we think we are? And I'm gonna answer it again with an emphatic yes, because while they will get tested against Ohio State and Michigan, I would think if they do play Michigan, you got to believe that they'll be ready for Ohio State. And I don't think there's a single player in that Georgia Bulldogs locker room that is scared of Ohio State or intimidated by them in any way. I think they do respect Ohio State. Kirby Smart is a very, he's a good guy. He's a very, respects his opponents tremendously, saying, that Ohio State was a tough team, that they're going to look forward to the challenge. But, it's, them versus Ohio State. This is, even if this is a close game, I think this will be, if it is a close game, I think that'll say more about Ohio State and their improvement and their their coaching staff and their willing to try to bounce back than it will be Georgia's not really as good as we think we are, because they get past Ohio State, it's looking good. They match up well with Michigan, even though it pains me to say as a Michigan fan, because it's hard to beat, as teams have found, it's hard to beat Alabama at their own game. For Michigan, Georgia plays a lot like Michigan. Win the line of scrimmage, do the power run game, distribute the ball to fast receivers, on the outside in the slot. Good tight end play both teams have, so it'll be a tough matchup for them. Thanks for tuning in to Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.